Welcome back to the Tacomaholic channel, everybody. Hope you're staying safe out there, practicing the good old social distancing. Is it driving you crazy yet? I'm sort of 50-50 on it, because I'm sort of a recluse anyway. But let's get into the topic of today's video, which is the black Bison build from Wald International, which is a Japanese aftermarket company. Okay, we are starting with the pros on this thing, and sadly there are fewer pros than there are cons, as you might have guessed if you saw some of the pictures. To begin with, I do like the roof spoiler with the LED lights. I think this is something you can add or remove with this entire package, as I saw some pictures that had it and some that did not. I think it's pretty cool. Nice little option versus like a larger LED light bar that you see mounted up there, and this is independent of mounting lights on a roof rack, obviously. Looks pretty cool and would obviously be functional off-road. And the rear tailgate spoiler, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the pro section, but I'm sort of 50-50 on it, so I'm back and forth. I do like the way it looks. Obviously it's just a cosmetic mod. It's kind of cool the way it ties in with the taillights, as you can see in the picture right here. Not functional, not really going to give you any kind of downforce. It's going to affect the truck's performance, which is what these rear spoilers are supposed to do. But it does look cool when it's tied in with the headlights. So I'll go ahead and count it as a pro. And now for the cons. There are quite a few of cons on this list, and even though I do like the way this sort of build looks in general, I see some conflicting modifications on here that we'll go over in just a second. First off, the hood scoop cover, and from the article it did say it is just a cover, which I have to assume, just like any kind of hood scoop you can buy aftermarket, it literally just slaps down on top of the center of the hood. So not going to be functional, which is kind of disappointing considering this is a turbo diesel Hilux, and any kind of increased airflow coming in the hood right there would certainly maybe help cool down the engine, grab a few extra horsepower. But this is the most aggressive hood scoop cover I have ever seen. The ram air, it's like dual ram air. It's definitely aggressive, and since it's just a cover and not functional, it's sort of like combining all of those fake hood scoops you can find on that one aisle at AutoZone. Not for me. Let's talk about that exhaust, yo. Now, I have no idea what type of exhaust setup is put on this truck, like if it's actually performance, how it sounds, if you're going to grab some horsepower, but it has dual 3-tip side exhaust exits on both sides of the car, which is definitely crazy. And I know this is supposed to compete with the Ford Ranger Raptor, which is more of a performance truck. It's just not for me. I don't like side exhaust on off-road vehicles, just because that's just something else you're going to bang on a rock or a root or a branch or whatever off-road. And it looks like it's easily get in the way of adding sliders down the road anyway. So 3 exhaust tips on both sides of the Hilux, definitely a fail in my opinion. And of course, we got to talk about these large wheels on this Hilux. While I like the sort of the design of the wheels, and I do like the color, obviously I've got bronze wheels on my Tacoma. The wheels come in 20 or 22 inch sizes, and I think that is just ridiculously large for something that, as you can see in the picture, is wrapped in an off-road, maybe not a mud terrain tire, but definitely a more aggressive all-terrain tire, and that's just silly. Come on, if you want to get off-road and you want off-road tires, 16 or 17 is probably the largest I would personally recommend. Definitely better to always have more rubber than rim in those situations so you can air down more and not risk popping a bead. So while I like the actual look of the wheels on this build, just way too large in my opinion. I know some of you guys like the larger wheels, so comment below if you actually like these ones. And finally, even though it wasn't mentioned specifically in the article, from the picture you can obviously tell there is a yellow bed liner on this truck. And I'm not specifically knocking the color, and I say that as the guy with the orange wrapped Tacoma. Obviously, I like flashy colors sometimes, but on this build specifically, it doesn't even match. It's not like there's yellow calipers or anything else to help pull that accent. So it just seems out of place. Obviously a little bright considering the rest of the truck is going for like a blacked out midnight theme. So not necessarily bashing the bold color, which I sometimes like. It just doesn't fit on this build. And lastly, just for fun, I have something I'm literally 50-50 on, definitely in the neutral zone, it's a wide body kit or wider fenders. I'm not sure which. The article was a little confusing. I think it's just wider fender flares, adding 2.16 inches to the width of the truck. I don't know if that's I would assume that's per side. And it does look like they are genuine carbon fiber, which is kind of cool. I definitely like a little carbon fiber accent every now and then. While it certainly looks cool for like a sport truck build, I'm a much bigger fan of going with just a full fender replacement versus just like wider fender flares. But curious to see what you guys think about the wider fender kit on this build particularly, so please comment below, let me know what you think. Alright everybody, that will do it for this video. Can't wait to see what you guys think of this Hilux build package, whatever you want to call it. Comment below, let me know what you think. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel by watching this video. Enjoy the rest of your week, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.